Good morning, students. Welcome to your computer class. In the previous class, we are discussing about the chapter Introduction to Email. And we have seen the parts of email, how the email sent to the other person, what are the steps while sending the messages through email, and as well as we have also seen the email and ordinary post, the difference between them, then advantages of email, and what are the methods people using before in the earlier times to send messages. So these all things we had discussed in our previous class, and the next topic which we are going to study today is how computer exchange informations, then parts of email message in a very broad manner, as well as we will see the different features of email program, how the people send and receive email messages, and some common email terms. Okay, so before that we will have a little bit revision of the previous topics and then come to the next new topic. Okay, so before going to that, it's request you all to please listen it very carefully, okay, so that you understood the things very well. Okay, so without wasting time, coming to the textbook. As you see, here we have seen introduction to email. What are the things in this? First of all, now if anyone asks you about email, ki, beta, what is email? You'll say, yes, I know what is email. It is electronic mail. Okay, it's simple. It's electronic mail. But what does it work? What it does work? So what you will say that email enable us to electronically exchange messages with our internet users wherever they may be. This is your answer. That email provide us, enable us electronically exchange our messages with other internet users wherever they may be, whether they are in a restaurant or a traveling or some other country. Okay, a computer, a modem or network connection and email address are needed. If someone asks what are the things needed while sending an email or for sending an email, so your answer is a modem, a network connection and email address is needed to send an email. I hope this much is clear to you all about email. Now today almost anyone who has internet access also has access to email. So theoretically, agar if you see, you can communicate with almost any internet user in the world. Clear? Now next else what we have seen times before email messages. Okay, see, people ask, okay beta, you know email, okay, you know the process also, what are the things needed for sending an email, but in earlier times how people send the messages from one person to another, from one kingdom to other kingdom, how? Then you also have an answer that firstly they were sending the messages by fire. Fire was used as a means of communication in many parts of the world. Okay, if you see in 1588, a chain of bonfires was used to send warning signals from one end of the country to other. These were used for sending messages. Next, message by runner. The most famous, if you see, the most famous communication means for sending messages took place in 490 BC when a runner named Phedipides, okay, remember this word, Phedipides, ran about 40 kilometers. Okay, to spread news of Greek victory at the Battle of Marathon. 40 kilometers he ran just for a news that a Greek got victory in the Battle of Marathon. Even in India, kings and emperors stationed relay horses to spread messages from one place to another. And the next one is message by pigeon. The things changed little bit. Now the people use pigeons. They just tie the message in their legs and send them to the direction. And even pigeon knows where to go. In between, if someone asks how the pigeon knows, so that answer is not included in this, because pigeon knows the direction, because they are just like pet. People used to take them. So pigeons have been used to send letters and messages for a long time. Now, organized message. If you see in AD 1, the first postal service was started by China, Persia and the Roman Empire. Remember this. China, Persia and the Roman Empire. Messages were written on scrolls and carried on horsebacks or by ships. In such cases, message would take weeks to arrive because of the long distances. Because the people are living in a long distances, or you are sending the message to a long distance, it takes time. But the first postal service was started by these three countries, that is Roman Empire, Russia and China. Not Russia, it's Persia, okay? Later, armed mail coaches were used. The first mail by a train was sent in 19th century. That means, remember this one also. After this pigeon, the organized messages were born, and the first it came the postal, and second came the mail service by a train. In the 19th century, make the postal service much cheaper to use. The first air mail service began in 1918. Okay, so starting from 1588, you see 490 BC, and then it comes to the 19th century and 1918 between Washington DC and New York. It can be asked in the question, between which two countries the first air mail service began in 1918. So your answer will be Washington DC and New York. Letters and packages could be sent across the two cities in just 2 days. In between 2 days only, they were sending the messages. Now, message by wire. After the invention of telegraph in 1837, message could be sent over big long distances very quickly. Then message in an instant. The first fax machine, which is used to send message very fast, was launched in 1984. Then email introduced. Ray Tomlinson developed the first email application for the ARPANET 1971, consisting of a program called SND, message for sending mail program, and read mail for reading mails. In 1980s, such messages were exchanged between computer offices, universities that had been linked together. So these all are small methods which the people use in the older times. Now next, advantages of email. You all know the advantages of email. Okay. Not take much time, cheaper, not very much costly, convenient to use, very much fast to send or receive messages. You can send message to a group of people free of cost, quickly and easily. Okay. Email is very economical because you do not have to pay or send. For sending the email, you don't have to pay much. Even you don't have to pay a single penny to the customer or the person. Okay. So this is also a good thing. Now, email versus ordinary post. If you are sending a letter by post or by mail, there is a difference. Okay. By post, if you see, then it is a time taking. And email, just in a second, you can send it to the other person. Just you need a login ID, email address, compose your message, press send button. And in sending a letter, you need a stamp putting in an envelope and then keeping it in a drop down box. Okay, so simple mail could take 3 or 4 days or to be delivered, whereas the email would delivered in seconds. Now, email programs. If you see different email programs, there are the companies who are providing you the email addresses. Email programs are Windows Mail, Gmail, Hotmail. Okay. Now, email account. You must have an email account to use email service. Email account is provided by the companies which provide email service like Yahoo, Gmail, and the account gives you a unique email address to which others can send messages. These all things we had discussed also. Every email account comes with its own email address, and an email address is a set of characters that uniquely identify the location of your internet mailbox. Okay. So this is email account, and what about the email address? You can send email messages anywhere around the world if you have an email address. All email users have their own unique email address, because if all the users have a same unique address, then what happened? It creates a what? A very hodgepodge will be there. Okay. All the people used to see the messages, no one will get the correct message. Okay, that's why unique address and unique email ID is there. The message are sent to the correct resident because of uniqueness of the address. I hope you all are getting. Now coming to parts of an email address. What are the different parts of email address? So you see, an email address is a combination of username and domain name that identify the user so that he or she can receive messages. Username is a unique combination of characters that identify you, and it must differ from other usernames located on the same server. Username sometimes limited to the 8 characters and is often combination of your first and last name. So remember this, okay? Username limited to the 8 characters and it consists of the combination of first and last name. So such as the initial of your first name plus your last name. Now domain name. Domain name separated by 2 parts by a period. The first part is the name of the service provider and second part depicts the type of website. Okay, like .com, .gov, these. So the username and domain name are separated by the @ symbol, which means at. Okay, so these two are separated by a symbol that is @. An email address cannot use commas, spaces or bracket. Instead, hyphen and underscore can be used. Now, selecting an email address. Okay. Selecting an email address. While creating email account, the server will let you choose a username. And username should be unique and has to be the name that has not already been chosen by anyone else. If you are having the same email ID, then again it becomes a confusion. So it should not be the same. So it is recommended that you use a combination of letters and numbers, both. A username Tanya Minas, you have seen this example, T_Minas, so I don't have to explain much. Okay. Now hi and email travels. Email message is typed by the sender on his or her computer. The message has an address so that it can be sent directly to the correct address. The message is sent to a server which is connected to the internet. The email is then sent to a router by the server. The router needs the message to another router. Routers are connected to each other by the telephone lines and cables. So these are connected with the telephone lines and cables so that the signals passes through the wires and the message is sent from one router to other router till it reaches to the correct one. When it's reached to the correct router, then it's finally see the address and send to the server, and server reads the address and passes the email to the correct computer. Sabir Bhatia has invented Hotmail from India, and Yahoo was founded by Jerry Yang and David Filo in January 1994. Okay, and was incorporated on March 1, 1995. So 1994, David Filo and Jerry Young has founded this, and then it came to the incorporation in March 1, 1995. And Gmail was announced to be used by the public by Google on 1st April 2004. 2004, 1st April, Google introduced or announced Gmail for public. Now, how computers exchange information, how they are exchanging. So you need to have set of rules like protocol, which determines how the information is to be sent. So IP is the most important protocol used on the internet. Okay. It specifies that the information sent between computers, servers, routers must be broken down into packets of data. They are not going in a huge bulk amount of a box, but they are going in small packets form. So what are packets? Packets are the small chunks which are broken by the internet. Okay, as you can see here the picture. So these are broken into a small chunks. Okay, this part is a chunk by the internet while sending an email message from one computer to another. Each packet contains the address of the destination computer, and the message are put back to form the email message. Okay, what happens, they are coming in chunks, but when they receive to their destination, they get back together to form an email message, and when this message reaches the designated computer, again the destination. Okay, so these are packets. Now if we talk about parts of email message. Okay, while sending or receiving an email, you should understand several parts of message like from, to, CC, BCC and subject. These 5 things means you are sending, so from your address, to whom you are sending, CC carbon copy, BCC blind carbon copy, and subject means about what the letter is. So first one is from. A person who is sending the email message, his or her email address is written in this section. Now then, to, the email address of a person who shall be receiving the email message should be written in this section. And then comes CC, carbon copy. It is an exact copy of the message. Okay, this is the exact copy of the message, and should the email address of a person who is not directly involved. He is not directly involved, okay, but you would like to, means you would like the message to be sent to him too. Like if you are sending some message or email to a teacher, but they don't know the involvement of the principal ma'am, but you want that the principal ma'am should also see the letter which you are sending, so you send her a carbon copy. So her email address is written in this section, CC. Now BCC, blind carbon copy. You can take the help of BCC if you want to send the same message to several people without showing them that others have also received the same message. If you want to keep it safe that others don't know that you have sent it the same message to other person, okay, and you want to send the message to several people without showing them that the letter have been also received from some other person, so you will write their address in BCC, blind carbon copy. Now subject. Very short description of your message is written in this section. For example, if you are sending a resume by email, you can write resume in the subject section. Okay, so only this much you have to write in the subject. Okay, a very short message. While reading that, people understood that about what the letter is. Now you see features of email program. New. Clicking this button allows you to write a new email message to someone. If you want to write a new email message to someone, then you will click on new. Reply. This button will allow you to send a reply to someone who has sent you an email. Means a person who knows you has sent you an email, and if you want to answer that person, then you will click reply. Okay, you will click reply, then reply to all. Sometimes you will receive an email of which you are not the only recipient. Pressing this button allows you to reply to all the email address from that email. Okay, so if you want to reply number of person in which side the email has came, there are already 4 or 5 members also, means email address also. So you want to reply to all them, means if you send a single reply, then it will reach to the single address. If you click reply to all, that means each and every person who are having their email message in that letter will get the answer. Forward. This button will help you to forward a message that you have received to someone else. Means the person whom you don't know, you have received this message from that person, and if you want to reply, then forward that message, that letter. Okay, and that person will receive it. Now send and receive. Pressing this button will serve 2 functions. It will query your mail server and receive a new email message that might be waiting for you, and it will send pending messages, if any, that you have authored to your email server. Whatever things we have authorized, that will happen. Delete. This button allows you to delete and select the messages. Means selected messages are deleted when you click on this button. Print. Everyone knows about print. Sometimes you might want to keep a copy of the email message with you. So in such case, this button allows you to take printout if your system is connected to the printer. So you can take the printout also of your email message which you want to send to the other person or which you have received. Now sending and receiving email message. The other topic. Receiving an email message. You can receive your email message even when your computer is not turned on. Your email service provider stores the message you receive in a mailbox, and when you check for a new message, you are in fact checking your mailbox on the service provider computer. So this means that you can check your message even when you are moving from one place to another. Okay, so what happens when a person sends you a mail, you receive it, even your computer is not turned on, then also it comes into your mailbox and store. When you on your system and start checking your new messages, then you see in the mailbox provider, okay, that message has came, okay, 1 or 2 messages or 3 messages, it will symbolize you, and this means that you can check your message even when you are moving from one place to another. Now sending an email message. Likewise, if you send message to exchange ideas or request for information. If you are sending a message to exchange ideas and request for information, you can also reply or forward a mail that you receive or exchange ideas. While sending an email message, your message should be in such a way that it should convey what you exactly want to say. Remember this. Don't make a letter or a message so big, so hodgepodge, critical. Okay, simple message that a reader should understand what you want to say in a simple words in such a way. For this, you will have to compose your message in a concise and meaningful way. This is very much important that you write your message in a systematical way, composing your message in a meaningful way, concise. Okay, these all are very much important. Some email service providers allow you to use comma between the email address to indicate there is more than one email address. If you want to write more than one email address, then you have to use comma. Some email service providers allow you to use a semicolon between the email addresses to indicate that there is more than one email address. So some email service providers also provide this also semicolon. So you can also use the address book to choose if you want to send the recipient the email via 2CC or BCC field. Okay, this can be chosen by the address book. Now next, common email terms. Now here you can see there are some common email terms that you can see in your book. Writing style. Your message should be clear, concise, should contain no spelling or grammatical errors. Also make sure that your message should not be misunderstood. Okay, that's why I told you write in a simple form that it can't misunderstood by someone else. Okay, the spelling, grammatical errors should not be there. It should be clear and should contain no spelling. Okay, and concise. That is your writing style. Now next, smileys. You can use special characters also that are called smileys and emoticons to express emotions as messages. If you want to express your emotions, so in the form of message with the help of smileys and emoticons you can show. These characters resemble human faces if you turn them sideways, just like it is given. Okay, it can be asked from you in the examination. Remember this. Cry, smile, laugh, sad, wow, wink, great, screaming, tongue out, kissing, angel, glowing. Okay, these all are the similes which are showing the expression or emotions in the form of message. Now, abbreviation. Abbreviations are commonly used in messages that you can use to save time while typing. So, here are some of the most commonly used abbreviations. These abbreviations can be used, or many more are there which you are using in the typing. Like AISI, as I see it. ASAP, as soon as possible. Ban for now. Back at keyboard. Be back in a bit. Be back later. TC, take care. Between, okay, by the way. See you. I see. Love you. Laughing out loud. Sis, see you soon. And great. So these are the abbreviation words which you must remember according to the example means purpose and in your life also if you write some text message. Next one is shouting. If you see a message written in capital letters is annoying and hard to read. If all the letters are written in a capital letter, it is difficult to read. Okay. Always use a combination of upper and lower case letters while typing message. Okay. It doesn't look nice also. But if you are using both the cases, then it looks nice. So that is shouting. The message which are written in a capital letters. Bounced message. A message that returns to you because it cannot reach its destination. It's called bounced message. Okay, the check is bounced. So a message usually bounces because of mistake in typing an email address. So make sure that you check the receiver's email address for accuracy before you send the message. Okay, I hope this also clear to you all. Now signature attachment and creating an email account, very much important. And after that we will see sending and receiving email in Gmail, email etiquettes, and then we will come to the last page, that is the self-evaluation question answer page of this chapter. And I hope this is the last chapter of your book also. So we will see in the next class. Till then, goodbye, have a nice day.